ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Please take your seats. All right, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, I have an instruction for you before we continue with drug examination. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, please disregard the last question posed by lawyers. That was based on evidence that is not in this particular case, should be disregarded and not considered. Let's proceed, please.
All right, Dr. Peterson. You were talking about some of the potential primaries besides lung cancer that this could be. Is stomach primary a potential?
It's a potential.
I want you to assume the jury has heard that if you have stomach cancer, you're going to have symptoms, and because Mr. Purdo did not have bloating or stomach pain, this could not be stomach cancer. Do you agree with that?
By itself, no. A lot of cancer doesn't cause pain. So just having stomach cancer per se doesn't mean it's going to hurt. And bloating is pretty nonspecific and wouldn't always accompany stomach cancer either. There are other reasons why I think it's more likely not stomach cancer, but I don't agree with those two things.
There was a mass described in the stomach. Could that be the primary?
Could.
Are you offering an opinion to a reasonable degree of medical probability that that is the primary?
No.
Did you see any evidence in the medical records that Mr. Purdo's doctors had ever done an endoscopy before the one where they discovered the bleeding mass?
No.
So the endoscopy that discovered the bleeding mass, was there any other time that Mr. Purdo's doctors looked inside his stomach?
Not that I'm aware of from the record.
Is prostate a possibility for Mr. Purdo's primary?
It is.
And I think we've talked about it, but if you could just briefly say why you think that prostate is a possibility here.
One of the places that prostate cancer loves to go early is bone. And of course, this started out with bone pain and a bone metastasis. Prostate cancer is adenocarcinoma, so that fits. The fact that at the end we have this abdominal carcinomatosis, prostate cancer does that just fine too, that plus the liver mets.
And does prostate cancer occur in 51-year-old males?
Oh, sure.
And is prostate cancer associated with frequent urination at night?
It can be, but it isn't necessarily. I mean, frequent urination goes along with enlarging prostate and pressure on the urethra, and the cancer may do that, it may not.
Can you still have prostate cancer even if there's not evidence that the prostate's actually enlarged?
Yes.
Is pancreatic cancer an option for the primary in this case?
I mean, it's an option. It's not a great option, but it's an option.
Does the fact that there is no record of Mr. Purdo having jaundice rule out the possibility that he had pancreatic cancer?
It would certainly rule out cancer in the head of the pancreas. That's a pancreas that's associated with a duodenum. There are ducts there, and cancer that arises there puts pressure on those ducts. You get jaundice early. Since he didn't have it, I would say for sure he did not have cancer in the head of his pancreas.
Did you bring some demonstratives to show the typical metastatic pattern of certain cancers that we've been talking about?
I did.
If we could show the first one. Now, is this a demonstrative of the typical lung cancer metastatic pattern?
It is.
Could you please explain this to the jury?
So we've seen that big picture before. This is just a smaller version. And the kind of blinking areas there, one of them is both lungs, because lung cancer likes to go spread within lungs, spread from lung to lung. Liver is a favorite spot for lung cancer to metastasize. So is brain. So without any anatomic specificity, that's kind of brain in general. So that would be your common metastatic pattern for lung and your growth pattern locally within the lungs.
Can we go to the next one? Can you please explain this to the jury?
Okay, so this one is colon cancer, and it's a little bit more subtle, but you can see there's a dotted line on there that kind of surrounds the whole abdominal space. That's trying to represent this carcinomatosis idea, so all the surfaces in there is how it can coat. Beyond that, it can absolutely spread to lung, that's the blue dot up above. It can spread to liver, that's the liver-shaped dot within the dotted lines. It can spread to lymph nodes and so forth. That's in the center down below the transverse colon. It can also spread to bone.
And we'll go to the next one. Please explain this to the jury.
Okay, so prostate cancer, some of those blinking objects are out there on arms and legs. That's to represent bone in general. That's one of the favorite spots for prostate cancer to spread. In terms of other places, brain, yep, lungs for sure. And then in the abdomen, the same organs as before, like liver, but then that carcinomatosis pattern. And then there's a dotted line right down the center. There are lymph nodes right along the spinal column where prostate cancer tends to go early. Those are lymph nodes that unfortunately are very hard to see radiographically, but that's kind of the typical pattern for prostate.
And I think we have Mr. Purdo's cancer next.
Right, and that's kind of showing what we're pretty sure about. As far as that mass up in the chest, don't know exactly where to place that, but there it is. The dotted line around the abdominal space, that's the carcinomatosis. His upper right, your upper left would be his liver. Below that, and there are also some, just to the side of the liver, there are 4 little ellipses. Those are the ribs that we know have metastatic disease. His lower left, your lower right, those are the bones that were involved early in him, the ischium, the pelvis, and so forth. So again, the main thing, though, to my eye, is the carcinomatosis.
Did you bring a demonstrative to show all of these side by side to compare them?
I did.
So please explain, when you compare them, what you conclude.
My conclusion is that if you look at Mr. Purdo on the right, and then the other 3 types on the left, that his pattern at the end was certainly consistent with the spread of colon cancer. It was certainly consistent with the spread of prostate cancer. It's just not so much consistent with the spread of lung cancer, primary lung cancer.
In all of your career, have you ever seen a case like this with such a large tumor burden in the abdomen that turned out to be primary lung? Did an autopsy?
No.
And just to be clear, Dr. Peterson, are you in any way offering any opinions related to smoking or the cause of Mr. Purdo's cancer?
No.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Do you want to go ahead and take